everybody, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I have a tutorial on how I made this little mini gift plush. This is actually stuffed with memory foam, so it would work as a little plush squishy too, but yeah, anyway, I'm just going to get straight on into it. I took this mint coloured plush fabric, and this is actually by the brand Shannon fabrics. This is a brand that I use so much on my channel. It's the only plush fabric that I really like to use because it is the best. I will leave a few like Amazon links and stuff because I know you can buy it like on there. I know a lot of fabric shops do it also, but yeah. Anyway, what you want to do is cut 4 rectangles, and then putting 2 face like right sides together, you'll then want to stitch down one of the sides to make it the same width as the bottom. So you're actually creating a square. I made mine a rectangle just to save like the bottom bit in a minute, but you can cut yours into squares if you want. You want to do the same with the other piece, and then you want to join these 2 pieces together so that you have 4 pieces lined up in total, and then joining up to make each sides of the shape. What you want to do then is just cut off all the excess before turning it inside out, and then you just want to pop it the right side way round. And as you can see, I have long bits at the end, which was because I did a rectangle shape instead of a square. This then means I don't have to attach another piece. I can just use those kind of flappy bits of the rectangle to kind of seal up the bottom. So what I did was I attached one of the corners of like the flappy rectangle bit into one of the corners of the square cube that I wanted to make, and I just sewed this shut. I then went ahead and just like adjusted it a little bit, and then went along the other side, adjusted it a little bit more, and then just stitched along the other side also until it was completely done. This is probably a little bit more complicated way of doing it, but you can of course make your shape into a square, sew the sides up on them, and then pop another square onto the bottom using the technique that I'm going to use for the top. So basically you'll end up with like a little square shaped bag, and what you want to do then is, if you're using toy safety eyes, you want to insert them now. This is the easiest like time to pop them in. So next you'll need to stuff your shape. I was just going to use memory foam at the bottom to keep the square, but then I figured just 2 pieces would fill it nicely, but you can also use toy stuffing. You'll then want to just like kind of stitch the edges down, as that will make the next step a little bit easier, and when you're using foam you can just stitch the edges into the foam. Next, taking a square piece of fabric, I just folded it over about 1 centimeter, and then 1 centimeter in I just started stitching away along one of the sides. Once I got to the end I just stopped, folded it over again, and just started stitching along the other side. Hopefully that makes sense, but I'll kind of slow it down here for you about real time so that you can see how exactly I did that. So I just folded that bit over, as you can see, moved it out with my fingers and everything, making sure it was in line, and stitched it down into place. I just stitched all the way to the next corner and did the exact same again until the whole shape was completely kind of sealed. Next, taking a thin strip of white felt, I just wrapped this around the front of the gift just to make a little ribbon type effect. I could have actually used ribbon, and now thinking about it, I don't know why I didn't, but I just thought felt would give a nice little fuzzy effect onto it, and I just hot glued that all the way around. You of course don't have to use hot glue. I used the tiniest bit on a low setting. You can use fabric glue if you want to. I have no problem using hot glue. I know some people do, so yeah, you can do whatever you want and use whatever glue you like. So I then went ahead and took another strip of the same width of felt and just glued that in the opposite way to make sure like the ribbon was kind of crisscrossing over, and I just secured it on the bottom also. What I then decided to do was pop a little bow on the top, so I actually just cut a little tab of white felt off again, and this was about double the thickness that the strips that I used previously were. I hot glued down on one side and then pinched it together, and then what I did was I cut this shape in half to end up with 2 little bow-like shapes, and I hot glued them to the very top just using the minuscule amount of hot glue. I then used a tiny weeny little strip of felt just to cover up those raw edges, and I hot glued that down also. This is then when I realised I did mess up on this bit, so I would kind of advise against doing that first one. But I realised that my needle wouldn't go through the hot glue that had kind of built up there. So I took another strip and like stitched a keychain onto this and then hot glued that over the bit that I just hot glued on. So if you're making this, just skip that other one and just do this one because you will save yourself some time. So yeah, like I said, I just hot glued that over the top one. It made it a little bit longer so you couldn't see the other one through. And yeah, I then decided just to finish off the face a little bit with some fabric paints. This was the Scribbles fabric paint. I will leave a link below down to the set that I actually bought. It was from Amazon, and I know most of you are from the US, so I will put the US link instead of the UK one, because I know the last time I put a UK Amazon link, you guys were mostly from the US. So yeah, I'll put US, maybe I'll put both, US and UK. I don't know, I'll just see what I do. Anyway, so yeah, I also added some pink either side of the eyes to act as blush. And once that was done, my little plushie keyring was then complete. So I am super happy with how cute this face turned out. Just look at it, I think it looks so cute. I also love the colours together. Mint and pink together are just beautiful and I love them. I actually have a backpack which is the perfect colour for this, so I'm definitely going to pop it on there and I will take probably the thumbnail with my backpack in because that will look cute. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up and I'll see you tomorrow for another DIY. Bye!